I'm Stephanie from the Car Hops at Frisco's. Welcome to Burger Town.
Burger Town. I know that smell. Yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town. In and out. Apple pan, just have to shout. A Pink's and Burger King makes me wanna dance and sing. I know that smell, yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town. French fries aside, sometimes I have one in the middle of the night. Tommy's Hollywood at 3 a.m. I'm at it again here. I know that smell, yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town.
If you're looking for a mate and you want to make a date with a girl that's never late, we're always at your service.
I was inspired to write Hamburger Heaven because I was nostalgic for my childhood experience of growing up and going to the drive-in with my folks as a kid. That was a very special thing, and the ritual of going to the drive-in involved getting in the car, going out, and having the waitress actually bring the burgers to the car and hang them on a tray right there. And as a child, that was a magical experience. Once I got the idea to write the Hamburger book, I started collecting hamburgers and looking all over the place for hamburger memorabilia. And I did my research, and I realized that the hamburger really evolved very gloriously in Los Angeles. The drive-in culture, post-war car culture, was in its heyday in the 50s and 60s in Los Angeles, and it is here that the most grand and glorious drive-ins existed. After World War II, our culture was moving so rapidly, and everybody was out cruising in their fabulous 50s cars, and they needed a place to go, a social gathering place. And as you know, the drive-ins in LA were the burger palaces, and right at the center of that car culture and that drive-in ritual was the hamburger. And it was, the bottom line is it tastes great, and it's very easy to prepare, and it's basic, and it's inexpensive. Basically, it's inexpensive, and I think that you know, the kids going out looking for a good time and something to eat found that the hamburger was the perfect, handy, fast grab food that the car culture demanded. Plenty of people claim to have invented the hamburger, although there's no proof who actually was the first genius to take a Hamburg steak and stick it in between a bun and make a Hamburg sandwich. There's a few colorful characters along the way in a couple locations in this country who claim to be the first. The inventor of the hamburger is in dispute. We'll never know for sure who that was.
She on down now, I must be in Burger Town.
Stay tuned for a Burger Town moment.
Jack in the Box has a new hamburger. It's called the Jumbo Jack, a 100% pure beef hamburger patty that measures 5 inches wide, shredded lettuce, sliced tomatoes, rings of fresh onion, pickles, a special sauce. The Jumbo Jack from Jack in the Box, a very adult hamburger.
In uniform so neat, each one demure and sweet, what we serve will be a treat. Here's the place to eat.
A drive-in restaurant in Los Angeles by the name of Bob's Big Boy was operated by a fellow by the name of Bob Wyan. I didn't know him personally, but he had a wonderful reputation in the hamburger business there. If I had to describe Bob, he was probably the pioneer of high tech. He was probably one of the first operators of fast food business that had not only quality control, but portion control. This led to his success because it was a type of an operation that no matter which one of his drive-ins you went to, the sandwiches remained the same. There was no variance in any of the sandwiches. The sandwiches were exactly the same in Eagle Rock as it was in Pasadena. And he might have been the forerunner of all the fast food chains in the United States today.
So one night at Bob's Pantry, his buddies came by, members of Chuck Foster's orchestra. They said, we want something completely different. You know, they were always ordering burgers. So he decided he'd have a little fun with them. He took a sesame seed roll, sliced it 3 times, 3 different slices. Then he stuck 2 patties, burger patties, in between the layers, put on some relish, some lettuce, and garnished it up well. As it turned out, they loved it because the middle slice of bun absorbed all the burger juices, and it tasted great. It became very, very popular, and he became famous for that particular Big Boy burger.
The purpose of the pylon, of course, is to attract attention. It was tall enough, the neon was bright enough so that by day or night you could find out where Bob's was from several blocks away. Plenty of time in order to decide, hey, I'm hungry, hey, I'd really like a Bob's Big Boy, and pull in. Also, of course, next to the sign is the Bob statuette of the famous Bob's Big Boy, the upswept hair and the platter of hamburgers over his shoulder. This is actually the second version of the Big Boy. The original one was designed by a Warner Brothers cartoonist who happened to eat at the original Bob's Big Boys in Burbank in the 1930s, not too far from the Burbank studios. But he still had the same look, red and white checkered overalls, a plump look, obviously happy with his hamburgers.
I've been coming here for 20 years, the best hamburgers in America. And I brought my friend from Japan here, Akira, and he's only been here for 2 days, and I'm going to introduce him to Tommy's.
There's a fast food establishment in the Los Angeles area that's called Tommy's, and it was opened approximately 50 years ago by a gentleman by the name of Tommy Kolax. One of his selling features on his hamburger was a tremendously large slice of tomato. And this was kind of like a trademark of Tommy's. He also had his own chili. One of the reasons why I believe that Tommy became as successful as he did was that those people that are familiar with the Los Angeles area know that in downtown Los Angeles, there's a tremendous amount of traffic. But just on the outskirts of Los Angeles, where Tommy opened his hamburger stand, this gave the people from working in downtown Los Angeles, the attorneys, the CPAs, whatever it was, the professional people there that wanted to get away from their office, to sneak over about 3 miles over to Tommy's and grab themselves a chili burger with this huge wedge of tomato.
The chili recipe is the original recipe, secret recipe, I might add, that Tommy started in 1946 when he started the Tommy Burger. We make it fresh in each of our locations. Tommy's Hamburgers today is owned by the family of Tommy Kolax. We have 18 locations and we are expanding. It is a family-owned, not franchised, and we'll be continuing to expand at this point.
This particular McDonald's opened in August of 1953. It was the second of the golden arched style units to be built anywhere, and the third McDonald's, including the original one in San Bernardino, to be built. It was run by the same franchise operators for over 35 years, the same ones who got the franchise from the McDonald brothers back in 1953, before Ray Kroc had even heard of McDonald's.
San Bernardino was a blue-collar town, working men's town, and that's what we wanted. We weren't trying to get the country club set or the socialites. This thing we wanted to build reasonable prices, and San Bernardino seemed a logical city to do that in. When we opened with the car hops, that was in 1940, and the opening went relatively smoothly. We had been going through this thing with the car hops, and so we didn't have any problems there. But one problem we began to have was the car hops and the fry cooks. And the fry cooks would want to date the car hops, and if they couldn't get a date, that poor car hops order was a little slow getting to her. But it was terribly slow. It was a slow system, terribly slow. My brother and I would sit out on a lot, And first of all, the customer would come in, and the car hop would take a tray out and a menu. Then she'd go back to the drive-in. Then she'd go back out again. They weren't ready to order. So they'd be back and forth a half a dozen times. And the system just, we could see that, you know, we were kind of getting into an age of jet propulsion, and this was really a horse and buggy operation. So that sort of put the idea, we knew we had to do something to speed things up, yeah. Self-service seemed to be coming into its own. So that sort of put the idea into our head, but we wondered how the customers would accept being served in their cars for so many years. See, we were there from 1940 until 1948 with car hops. And boy, they loved this car service, especially when it was rainy and so forth. But we decided to take the bull by the horns, and we closed it down. And when people found out what we were going to do, they thought we had gone insane. And we had a great business. We had the most popular drive-in in town, and people couldn't understand. They said, "My God, the McDonald brothers, I think that they're losing their minds." The end of the third month, it began to pick up a little, and we began to get sales clerks, construction workers, cab drivers, and they loved the speed of it. Boy, they could come in, bingo. So from then on, the thing just took off. Word began to spread through salesmen throughout the country, and we began to get a little publicity in the trade magazines. And the first thing we knew, people were converging on us to see what this was all about. We didn't call it fast food then. We didn't call it anything. Well, when we decided to franchise, we knew this oldest circular building that we had was obsolete, and we knew that we had to have a new building. So I drew in 4 columns. Well, they looked terrible. So then I drew in 1 arch running parallel with the building, and that didn't look too bad. So then I tried 2 arches the way they eventually came out, and that seemed to lift the building up, and that's the story of the Golden Arches. Speedy was, well, I didn't ever think it was really too sensational, but it was kind of a cute little figure, and we had a fellow who used to do some artwork. I was talking to him one day, and I said, "How about drawing a little figure, Sal?" His name was Sal Cruz, and put a chef's hat on him and put a chef's apron and so forth. And so he drew up 2 or 3 little sketches, a little Speedy. So we picked out one, and I don't know, I just came up with I call him Speedy, just for no particular reason. Of course, to me, my favorite hamburger is still the little original hamburger. It was 10 to a pound. Maybe once in a while a slice of cheese, but that was it. There was none of this lettuce and special sauces and 3 deep high. I can't even get my mouth around some of those hamburgers. So my favorite one is still the little hamburger, and I like it with a milkshake and an order of fries, and that's what I generally go for.
She on down now, I must be in Burger Town.
Stay tuned for a Burger Town moment.
Order, please. 4 bonus burgers, heavy on the secret sauce, 3 Jack Colas, 2 orders of onion rings. And a taco. Jack in the Box drive-through restaurants. Good food for people who just can't wait to eat.
So every time you make a call, your tips may be large or small. Sometimes there are none at all. Still, we're always at your service.
The name Googie can be traced back to one specific coffee shop in Hollywood. It was a place where a lot of stars, including James Dean, hung out on the Sunset Strip. It was designed by John Lautner, a student of Frank Lloyd Wright, and it seemed to capture kind of the energy, the exuberance, the explosive power of the post-war period. This was the beginning of the space age. It was the birth of the atomic age. And the American public wanted to have an architecture that they could live in, use, inhabit, which would embody that, which would express that, which would capture the excitement that they were feeling about that period. It was a period with great hope for the future. Technology had won the war, World War II, for America, and it promised an incredibly abundant, extraordinarily innovative future. One thing about the coffee shops and drive-ins is that they are so commonplace that people assume they've always been here, but it's not true. There were actually architects who designed these, gave them the qualities that made them so successful and distinctive. I admire these architects a great deal. There was Martin Stern Jr., who designed the first couple of Ships restaurants and also was active in Las Vegas. Then, of course, there was the firm of Arme and Davis, Eldon Davis and Louis Arme. They probably were the firm which was most identified with this style across the country because of the number of buildings, coffee shops, drive-ins that they designed all across the country, which really established the style as a popular architecture. It's sad that we have lost so many of these coffee shops today. Most of them have been either remodeled or torn down, but one which still remains in very good condition is Pan's at La Tejera and La Cienega in Los Angeles. Fortunately, it is still owned by the original family, and they have taken pride in it, have cared for it, restored it, so that today you can still see what the experience of these coffee shops from the 50s were by going and having a meal at Pan's.
The restaurant was at a point in time where it had felt its years of wear and tear, and we were at a point where we either had to do something completely different to upgrade it with a different look, or look into restoring its original concept. And we decided to do that. There was nothing better that we had seen that was presented to us in the way of a new design. It was such a unique design, and it was becoming, we were becoming so rare as a original 50s architecture that I looked into original photographs, and with all the new designs that some of the designers had sent us, nothing was better than the original concept, the original design. The Pan's neon sign itself, what they call the sign can. If you were to take that sign can, lay it down, it is exactly the same shape as the Pan's roof. And that's how they came up with the neon sign. I think what caught my eye the most was the original light fixtures. These upside down pyramid-shaped light fixtures are so unlike anything else that you see today. They were such a part of Pan's that when I saw that really turned me to going into that direction of restoring it. They were so unique, and I wanted something unique. I was looking for a new, unique design until I found the original photographs. And by seeing the light fixtures, bam, that was the way to go.
Burger Town.
Oh, it was such a fun time. It was like meeting people, young people just riding around looking for somebody, you know. It was fun date time. They used to come after the movies or after ballroom dancing, and there was bowling alley all over the place, you know. Every corner there was like a bowling alley and drive-ins. It was fun. You'd be relaxing. You'd be in a convertible or open top or something, and we'd just go and be talking. Maybe you'd ask me for a date or something. I don't know. It was fun. to meet people.
If you're looking for a mate and you want to make a date with a girl that's never late, we're always at your service. Large and small ones every size. Some are dumb and some are wise. We don't have to advertise that we're always at your service.
In uniform so neat, each one demure and sweet. What we serve will be a treat. Here's the place to eat. So every time you make a call, your tips may be large or small. Sometimes there are none at all. Still, we're always at your service. When you travel near or far, drive up in your motor car. You can sit right where you are, for we're always at your service. If you order chops or steaks, we don't bring you griddled cakes. We deliver in 2 shakes, for we're always at your service. It's always been our boast. We're known from coast to coast, from a pickle to a roast. We're the nation's host. We won't pour soup down your back. Coffee don't taste like shellac. This drive-in is not a shack, and we're always at your service. With a girl that's never late, we're always at your service. Large and small ones every size. Some are dumb and some are wise. We don't have to advertise that we're always at your service.
We have really crazy seats. We have cars, Cadillacs, 57 Cadillac, and it's cut in half. And you get to sit inside. The car hops inside. We skate up to the cars inside. They have the parking meters. They have the little, we had meter maids too, where they go and serve you at the bar area. And shakes, malts, and floats, and it's great. The dance routines we do are really fun. The one we showed you guys, Greased Lightning, took a little bit more work because it's longer, but then we have other ones like the Hokey Pokey, which everyone knows, and the Chicken Dance, which are fairly easy, but we do practice them every day. All of our burgers are double burgers, and it's called Frisco's. Frisco burgers are on grilled sourdough bread with the Parmesan cheese grilled into it. We also have the regular burgers, but all of them are double burgers. They're half pound. I like the hamburgers here at Frisco's because we have the 2 different kinds, the one on sourdough bread. And when you're looking for a sandwich with not so much stuff inside of it, those are really good. And I really like our hamburgers because the patties go to the edge of the burger, of the bun, and we have 2 patties, so it fills you up every time.
She on down now, I must be in Burger Town.
Stay tuned for another Burger Town moment.
One of the strangest items in my collection is the Avon lip gloss burger. This is really strange, I think. Many people agree. The top bun screws off, and then you've got a choice of 2 different lip glosses underneath. Another one of my favorite items is the burger radio, AM radio, unfortunately only, but the hamburger soap comes with washcloth, cheese washcloth, and lettuce washcloth. This is the Burger Whopper bath sponge, which is a nice accent in the bathroom. This is a juggling set, which comes with instructions on how to learn how to juggle using a hamburger. Squeezy dog toy burgers. This is a hamburger organ for the kids, hours of fun. This is my hamburger telephone. Actually, it's a cheeseburger telephone. You just flip open the top bun and say cheese. The K9 Burger Chef, which is a battery-operated toy. He flips his burgers. So I have my watch, which keeps me on schedule, my hamburger watch. Again, the top bun flips open.
When you travel near or far, drive up in your motor car. You can sit right where you are, for we're always at your service.
They're big, they're juicy, they're messy, quick service, the meat's good, a lot of lettuce, a lot of cheese, the sauce is good.
There's a fast food establishment called the Apple Pan in West Los Angeles. Been around, I have no idea, maybe 50, 60 years there. And there's no real reason why this business enjoys the success that it does. It's socially accepted by the people in the neighborhood. It has a following from older people that have grown up and have eaten at the Apple Pan. It's just kind of one of these very unique places that has been just accepted by people. They put out a great product. People like to congregate there. I know that when I've gone there to eat, I've never been able to sit down. I have to wait for a seat around the counter. You know, this speaks to the management. I know from for a fact there that they've had employees there 35, 40, and 45 years. And you know, this is what you call a true family-operated business that has been passed down from father to son and father to son or daughter, whatever the case might be.
In 1947, we built the building. My mom and dad and my grandmother started the operation. My grandmother organized all the pie baking and used her recipes and got that all set up for us. And my mom and dad did the rest. And really, ever since then, we haven't changed one thing. We've had a heck of a lot of pressure to sell, you know, in the last 10 years because the big West Side Pavilion is across the street and we're just getting to look smaller and smaller, you know, all the time. But we've never been tempted for 1 second to sell. We like our place and we want to keep it as long as we have, you know, the family wants to run it, why, it'll be here. Our hamburger, like I said, is cooked to order, so it's nice and hot. We serve, for our cheeseburgers, if people want cheese, it is a natural cheddar cheese from up in Tillamook in Oregon. We serve only the middle part of the head of lettuce. The outside leaves are taken off, the inside heart is never used, so we only have about 1.5 inches of the choice lettuce to put in our burger. We make our own sauce, which is different for the hickory burger than for the steak burger. We put just a little mayonnaise on the bun first. We toast our buns so the buns are hot.
So the way we cook the hickory burger, we start with great meat, a good ground chuck, and then we have a special way of smoking that hickory burger and to get the smoke flavor in it. And then we use the best sauce. We use a hickory chili sauce, and we use the best lettuce and pickles and the best mayonnaise you can get, and that's what makes a great hickory burger.
I think people come back for our hamburgers because they love them. They say that you can't find a hamburger like this any place around. And never a frozen burger around here. They're always fresh.
Burger Town.
Stay tuned for a Burger Town moment.
What are you doing to the Jack-in-the-Box clown?
He's going bye-bye, lady.
But he's so cute.
Cute was the old Jack-in-the-Box restaurants.
Now we stand for great new food, like our new hot ham and cheese supreme. Tender ham and tangy cheese on a toasted poppy seed roll. The food is better at the box.
The food is better at the box. Waste him.
The food is better at the box. Jack-in-the-Box, better at the
We want people to know that eliminating the fat from their diet doesn't mean that they have to eliminate the fat from their lives. When Fatburger says get fat, we obviously don't mean go out and get fat. We mean come into Fatburger and get the fattest burger in town, which is the best burger in LA. Right now in the urban culture, there's a big move going on similar to the same thing that happened with the word bad, that fat is a positive thing. It's a good thing. Hey, that's a fat building, that means it's a good looking building. And we want people to know they can come to Fatburger and get the best burger in LA. Fatburger was founded in 1952 by Lovey Yancey. who at the time was, I believe, in her 50s or so. And she thought that she could go out and create the best hamburger in LA. She didn't feel that anybody was doing a good job out there. She was a real hamburger aficionado. And she opened her first stand on Western down in LA, and it did very well. She opened her second store on La Cienega and San Vicente, and it really caught on, and it became a real kind of stomping grounds for a lot of famous people and everybody, kind of a real cultural mixing pot for everybody that wanted a good burger. Fatburger is known as the last great hamburger stand, and what you see here at the counter and the canopy above that's the actual hamburger stand, a restaurant within a restaurant. This is where all the action takes place. This is where you can come and see your food cooked before your very eyes. You see the raw products that we're putting into it. You're seeing how we make it, you're seeing how we handle it, and you're watching prepared, and you get to have it made your way. If you want something changed, you're sitting right here, you can yell over the counter and tell us to change it. And you see a lot of people, this is actually where the action happens at the restaurant. A lot of people that sit at the counter are the people that want to get really involved with the production of their food. They really get into it. You'll see them watching it, and they're looking at it, and you can see, wow, that's great. Can you put a little more of that on? Take a little bit of that off. And it really is a positive thing that people like, and especially in today's health-conscious society, being able to see your food being made seems to be a big deal to a lot of people. I think the ultimate hamburger would be a hamburger that's cooked just right, about medium well, with all fresh ingredients. The bun is toasted with a fine caramelization on it. All the condiments are spread evenly throughout the whole process. You have cheese and bacon on it, and when you bite through it, you can feel your teeth biting through the bun, going through each condiment. The bacon's cracking in your mouth, and when you're chewing it, every bite includes every single condiment, and you can taste every condiment in every bite.
Down there, I must be in Burger Town.
I'm Shinji, manager of Oki Dog. I'm originally from Japan.
My name is Hendrik. I'm originally from Armenia. I'm the owner of Great White Hut, and Great White Hut been here since 1947.
What I came to realize, the reason that people became involved in the fast food business, it was a type of business that was a cash business. It was a business that the inventory changed 52 times a week. Of course, this attracted a lot of people that had limited funds, particularly immigrants. Many of the immigrants came into the Southern California area, and they had background of cooking and from whatever country they came from. And they really felt blessed that they could come into this country and work and be well compensated for their efforts.
Burger Town.
Well, the Connie's Burger, the way they cook it, they don't overcook it, they don't undercook it. And I love the Connie's Burger with their tomato on it. They have a fabulous produce person, whoever they buy the tomato from. It is excellent. And the Connie hamburger with cheese is excellent.
Hi, I'm Susan O'Donnell. I'm with Carney's Restaurant. I'm the manager here of both stores, here and in Studio City. We've been here for 21 years, since 1975. We have, our claim to fame is our chili, which is served on our burgers and our hot dogs. I think what keeps people coming back here is, number one, the food, the quality of the food, and the service. And the people that you meet here at the counter are very friendly, glad to have you here, welcome you back all the time. So it's a fun place to work. The reason for the train car is really simple. It's nothing really romantic. We were leasing the property at the time. The owners of the property said that if we put a permanent building on the property and the lease was not renewed, we'd have to leave the building. So my brother opted to put something down that was mobile. And all you have to do with these train cars is get a crane, remove the wheels, put them on a flatbed, and we're gone. So that was the reason for the train initially. And then, of course, it caught on, became world famous, and we stuck with it. The burger business in Los Angeles is competitive, yes. But as far as Carney's is concerned, we don't feel really that we have a competition. We are upper scale price-wise, quality-wise, certainly. We are unique, and so I think there's a place for everyone here. There's the low end and the high end, and we're somewhere in the middle. And again, I think that that's the reason we've succeeded.
Approximately 4 miles east of El Monte, where my pit hamburger stand was the original In-N-Out Burger. This was operated by a gentleman by the name of Snyder, and he was probably the forerunner of absolute top quality product in the fast food business. In all the years that he's been in business, he has never changed his menu. He has hamburgers, French fries, soft drinks, and malts, period. His operation is probably one of the smoothest operations that I have ever seen, and I admire In-N-Out Burger.
Well, because it's fresh. You know, they don't even have any freezers at In-N-Out. It is fresh meat, fresh buns delivered daily. They have their own bakery, and they have fresh potatoes. They slice the potatoes there, and there's no heat lamps, so everything is fresh, and it's put together right in front of your eyes, the way it used to be everywhere. So the experience of eating that is quite different from something that's been sitting around a while.
Cafe 50s is a place to feel comfortable, to come in and have good food, good service, good atmosphere. A lot of restaurants these days don't give you that extra personal touch, and I think it's really important that when people come in, whether I'm a diner or a fine dinner house or whatnot, that you're still treated like a guest and you're treated like a five-star restaurant. So whether you get a cup of coffee or a blue plate special or a burger, we're going to treat you like a guest, like you're coming into one of our, actually coming into my house. When people come into the restaurant, they forget about reality, and they come in, they sit down at the restaurant, and they feel like they're actually in a diner. I mean, when you come into the Cafe 50s, you sit down at the counter, you really feel like you're in a diner. You feel like you're actually in the past. So, and when you leave, on my front door, it says "Back to the Future," meaning that when you leave the restaurant, you're back into reality, and it's great. It's fun. A lot of the artifacts in Cafe 50s we actually use are in still operation. For example, we have a soda fountain. The soda fountain is fully equipped with syrups and a soda dispenser which puts out the regular seltzer water, carbonated water, to make our floats and ice cream sodas. We have shake machines. The shake machines are actually, one of the shake machines is over here that actually came from the 50s, and it still is in operation. I think the ultimate hamburger is when it gets pulled out of the refrigerator, it gets thrown on the grill, you can hear it cooking. We have a show kitchen here. My cooks are right there. You can see everything that's going on. And I think it's great on two ends of it, is that the guests can see exactly what's being prepared. Their meal is being prepared right in front of them. And I think it's going from the grill, the aroma coming off the grill, the product, the quality, and then being garnished with a thick piece of tomato and lettuce and a nice dish of coleslaw and a pickle and of course the parsley. And I know everybody hates parsley, but presentation's everything.
Burger Town.
Stay tuned for a Burger Town moment.
What'll it be, pal? I'll have a hamburger, for which I will gladly pay you Tuesday. One burger coming up. Here's your... Huh?
If you order chops or steaks, we don't bring you griddle cakes. We deliver in 2 shakes, for we're always at your service.
This is the last remaining early McDonald's anywhere in the country. It's extraordinary value because it was never changed, never added on to over the years. It's in virtually original condition. It closed in January of 1994. There is now a fight going on to try to save it, to keep it operating as a McDonald's so that people can come and see it, what an original McDonald's was all about in its original shape. It was this year also declared one of America's 11 most endangered buildings by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And it has remarkable support here in the community of Downey.
Oh, you did? I know it is
Save on McDonald's!
We're here today because we're very angry and disappointed with McDonald's for not agreeing to keep this stand open. It's the oldest McDonald's in the country, built in 1953. It was built by the brothers McDonald before Ray Kroc even got involved with the empire. And, you know, it represents a very significant piece of American history. This is where the whole fast food empire got its start. And McDonald's, which owns this stand outright, this is not a franchise, it's owned outright, can afford to keep this stand operating. It's been profitable all the way up till 1990 when they bought it. There's plenty of customer traffic here. It's a great location in terms of tourist traffic going to Disneyland, and they need to exploit this. This is a piece of their history, and we're here to show that they're being McScrooge. They're not agreeing to keep it open at this point, and we want to show them that people really care about this stand and want to keep it alive.
This is the McDonald's where Ray Kroc learned what running a McDonald's was all about. He originally talked to the McDonald brothers at their small drive-in shed out in San Bernardino. This is the last, earliest remaining McDonald's in the entire country. And until it closed in early 1994, it had operated continuously just as it had when it opened in 1953. But Downey was part of that suburban move after World War II. Rockwell was here and became a very successful, stable community. And the McDonald's was part of that community for over 40 years now.
You're watching San Diego's #1 source for news. Right here, right now. This is News 8 at 6:30.
I'll take a Big Mac and some French fries. That's what people were saying this morning when the world's oldest McDonald's reopened. Built in 1953, the drive-in restaurant had to close after the 1994 earthquake. The 43-year-old restaurant has a patio which seats over 100 customers, and that patio was full today.
And Ronald was there. Did you see that?
I did.
Big Mac sounds pretty good right now.
I think this one thing is not take life too seriously. You have a very short span. I know many people, it looks to me like they think they're going to live forever. I've got news for them. They're not going to live forever. And I say, try to enjoy it. Try to have some good friends that you can socialize with, but relax. Don't get all tightened up. Don't be worrying about this and worrying about 6 months. No, it's not going to do you a bit of good. Take it easy and enjoy life.
Every country has got something. Israelis have got falafels, Spanish people have got tacos. This is our pride and joy. This is the American classic. We do it good, we do it better than anybody else in the world. You go to Rome to see Colosseum, or you go to Jerusalem to see the wall. You come to LA for a good burger. This is what we are famous for.
Know that smell? Yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town. In and out, Apple Pan just have to shout. A Pink's and Burger King makes me wanna dance and sing. I know that smell, yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town. French fries aside, sometimes I have one in the middle of the night. Tommy's Hollywood at 3 a.m. I'm at it again here. I know that smell, yes, I know it very well. I must be in Burger Town.
All over LA, you can smell the meat and the tasty fat frying. From the mountains down to the bay, everyone's plugged in and there is no denying. Pile up the onions, ketchup's like a tide, sesame bun, pickles on the side. creamy avocado, chili pepper too. Everything is so good for you down in Burger Town. There is a man, he's got a plan, a guarantee that you'll feel great. Spatula glued to his hand, cooks a ton of beef, slides it all onto your plate. Grill is hot and sizzling and your mouth it just drools. Serious business, ain't no time for fools. Mountain of fries, cherry coke you can sip, then you're ready for another trip back to Burger Town. Some people say they'd rather try the Apple or check out the Windy City. But right here in LA, we've got all the names, so we're really sitting pretty. Fat Burger Tommy's in and out it goes on, not just places, a real phenomenon. Ain't no higher or deeper thrill, it's Nirvana on the grill here in Burger Town. Here in Burger Town. Here in Burger Town. Right here in Burger Town.